web page students, and welcome to our hybrid layout tutorial. And in this tutorial we're going to create a living room page that is a hybrid layout of our full width template. And this will be a precursor to what we're doing for modal pop-ups. Now, the very first thing I need you to do is to go into Dreamweaver. Now that you're in Dreamweaver, what I want you to do is go into your Files panel. And if you look and see, the page that I have is highlighted and it's a new page called Living. And it's another page to all of our pages. So what I want you to do is you're going to stay on the main site and click New File and create your living page, which I've already done for time's sake, or otherwise this tutorial would be 2 and we have a lot to cover, so I've actually done quite a few things. The next thing I've done is I've inserted our template, our full width template, changed the banner up here to Shears Design Living Rooms, and then actually gone through and created these separate divs. And I'm going to show you how I did that in the source code so we can kind of learn together, and you can pause the video and do this. So the very first thing that you're going to need to do once you have your template in, you can see Shears Design. If you want to change it to Living, you can, but I'm okay with us just keeping it as Shears Design. And at the end of your paragraph, which is up here, I'm going to actually put this box down here so you can see the divs. And your paragraph tag is ending here. And you're going to create 3 box divs. It's div ID box 1, box 2, and box 3. And make sure you include your ending div tag and then put some space in between here. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to create a paragraph tag. And that paragraph tag, you can copy that dummy text from up here and just a little bit of it, and then you're going to put in this image source. It's going to be in your images folder. You're going to go, if you do image source and the quote button, you'll be able to find narrow 1, narrow 2, and narrow 3, and then you're going to place a little more text in here, just a small little piece that I have on your guide sheet that I've given you in creating the Lightbox gallery. So once you do that, you're going to look into Design View and you can see that it specifically will look like this. You'll have your divs with this picture in it and a little bit of text underneath. What I want you to do is when you copy that paragraph text on the top, I just want it to have to be 2 separate lines all the way across your div. That'll make sure that it's correct. I mean, if you have more text, it's not a problem, but your design will look better with this template that we are going ahead and working on. And the next thing that you're going to need to do is we're going to work together in the styles sheet, and we're going to go down into containers. I'm actually going to go into code view, and we're going to scroll past containers, and we're going to go past the footer, and then you're going to put 3 containers. You're going to do box 1, hashtag box 2, hashtag box 3. And then you're going to give the curly brackets and set that up. So what I want you to do is to set up your boxes with those particular curly brackets. And pause the video and do so now. Once you've set up your boxes on 1, 2, and 3 with your selector tools, make sure that you don't have a space between the number and the box or it's going to mess things up. You're going to put in a width of 250 pixels. You're going to refresh your page, and then you're going to go into Design View. And you can see at this point we have our three divs, it's spaced out, but they're all one on top of each other, and we don't want it that way. Now, I'm going to show you some other things to do with the source code. And the nice thing about CSS, if I go into code view, is it doesn't matter, like for example, with and float left, what order these selector or these properties are in. It will work the same way. Unlike most things in our coding in HTML, it doesn't necessarily work the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just paste the rest of this code in, and then I'm going to explain it to you so you can go ahead, it's on your worksheet, and you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to update that. I'm going to go over into design view, and you can see that I have these various colors that I actually need to change the colors on it, because when I pasted it, I made the gray background the same color, but it has the same, because I pasted the one modern rooms and traditional rooms and contemporary rooms. I pasted those, and make sure that those headings are listed in your div. It is on your worksheet, but if you haven't done that, you want to make sure that you did that. I'm going to explain to you what each particular part is, and then you'll be able to go ahead and format your page like this. So let's go back into our source code. Or actually our CSS styles, and go down into here, into our boxes underneath that. And I'm actually going to bring this up here because I'm going to explain this later. I kind of hid it so I didn't have to copy and paste. So your particular page isn't going to look like this. It's going to look like that when it's finished, but it probably isn't going to have the margin nice and neat like I do. It's going to be up against the edge of that particular box, but until you put these group selectors in down here, which I will show you in just a minute. But let's start with this top box, and let me explain what we're doing. This gives it to 20 pixels of margin at the top, which is right up here. That explains that, and it also puts the border. Oh, wait a second. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Let's go. I'm like, wait a second, that looks kind of like 20 pixels, but I don't think that's right. So let's go to this box number 1, and I'm going to actually go to code view so we can highlight it and you can see it. The width is 250 pixels. We floated them to the left. That's how we line them up. We gave it a margin of 25 pixels, which was kind of similar to that 20 pixels. And we gave that top border, that colored border, was 15 pixels. That was how wide it was, and that was the color. It was also solid. And then this refers to the background color that is gray. Now, what I need to do because I copied and pasted them in, I need to go in and put in the rest of the colors and make the colors a little bit different so they're not all that brown color. So this one is 9785353, and then the last one is 6A00, and that's our last color. I did, and you can do this however you want, but I did make this code for these boxes 2 lines just because it would be easier to see, especially if I was working in split view. And you can see over here, as I scroll over here now that I've changed those, you can see that I've changed those colors, and that's what it should look like. I'm going to go into design view to show you the finished product. And in the product, the final layout of this hybrid layout, you have some margin around the outside of the text. Remember, margin refers to the outside and padding refers to the space in between the text. So what we need to do, and what you don't have done, are these group selectors. And I'm going to actually go into code view, and I'm going to kind of copy this, Control C, and then I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to refresh it and go into design view. So you can see this is what yours should look like at this point. It's easier for me to copy and paste because it takes too much time to put those in, and then I'm going to just paste that back, and I'm going to refresh it, and I'm going to explain this to you with this particular group selector and what it is. What you want to do is you want to refer to the box, and we're going to do two selectors. One, we're going to refer to the heading 3, which is that top header, and then we're going to refer to the paragraph text. Now you want to make sure that you do not have space in between these boxes and the number, because it won't work. The other thing you want to make sure is that you have these group selectors underneath the boxes, because if they're up on top, it's not going to work. I can tell you from experience, I spent lots of time, so hopefully I'll save you lots of time with that. So let's go into the design view, and you can see this is what it looks like. It's very simple. Good luck, and in our next tutorial we will go ahead and work on modal pop-ups. Thank you.